EGM Network.
Hey, welcome to Wake Up America with Bill Crafton. This episode is AI data centers on the ballot. Here's your host, Bill Crafton. Hey, Bill.
And hey, super duper yourself. I'll tell you, put Jeff through the ringer today, and let me tell you, boy, I hope he comes out okay on the other side. Hey, Sir Paladin LLC, third-party tax certificates. You know, if anybody's interested in buying them, we sell them, okay? Evergreen Media, let me point that out to you folks. Right there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, this group of folks is just unbelievable, right? They bend over backwards and make things work for you, you know?
Thank you, Bill.
We got Jesse James at the helm here.
Hey, how are you?
Okay, and Jesse's always putting to the test this week, right, Jess?
Yes, sir.
We got podcast number 30, if we can believe that, right?
Number 30.
Number 30. Time flies, you know?
I know
My
it.
weeks are flying by, Jess. My life in front of me was going quick, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, who was number 30 for the Boston Red Sox in 1962?
Boy, I don't know.
Bob Tillman.
Bob Tillman.
You remember him?
I think so.
What did he play?
He's shortstop.
Catcher. Bob Tillman.
Bob Tillman's a catcher.
And I didn't look it up, but my recollection is Bob Tillman was the oldest rookie that ever made the Boston Red Sox at the time. Bob Tillman, the oldest rookie at the time. When he got there, he was like 32 years of age and a rookie for the Boston Red Sox or something, right? So anyway, back to serious business here. We're going to continue to drill down and trying to find out what the facts are, right? And basically lay out the facts for everybody as quickly as possibly that we can, to the point. I'm not a Republican, remember that. I'm not a Democrat, I'm an American. And my viewpoint is the political parties divide Americans against each other. Very simply stated, right? Mm-hmm. And I want everybody to know the themes of these podcasts for the last 30 weeks or so is to identify additional sources of funding for Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Payroll taxes just not going to cut it in the future. Not cutting it today, quite frankly, but it's definitely not going to be in the future. The future needs of these programs is got to be should be controlled by outside resources. Okay, primarily my message is from the billionaires, right? Mm-hmm. So I've defined something called a Social Security lockbox, and that's these billionaires would contribute money into it based on fees that would be charged. They deduct it off their taxes if they pay taxes. You know, they may not be interested. Don't pay taxes. But if they pay taxes, they'd get a deduction off it, so it wouldn't hurt so much. And typically it runs about 5%. So, and we have a fee that for data centers coming up. That's why we're talking about them. That's right. Of other reasons, right, Jess?
That's right.
Okay, what do we got here, Jess?
Yeah, we're talking artificial intelligence data centers. They're popping up. The United States has more than 3,000 operational data centers right now, with over 1,500 additional facilities planned or currently under development. Let's start by looking at two states, Texas and Pennsylvania. Take Texas first. We've got Governor Greg Abbott here announcing a big investment in Texas a little while back. Here's Governor Greg Abbott.
It's now my pleasure to turn it over to the governor of this great state, Greg Abbott.
Well, thank you, Sundar, for being here. Thank you for the huge announcement. So an announcement of a $40 billion investment that truly is a Texas-sized investment in our state. I want to thank Sundar as well as Google for their faith and confidence in the state of Texas, knowing that they can come here and operate here, knowing that Texas moves at the speed of business, and they're going to have a partner in the state of Texas to make sure they will be able to achieve their vision faster and better than they can in any other state. Also, to understand the view of the Texas-sized investment, as I understand it, when this project is complete, Google is now going to have a larger AI data center footprint, more so than any other state in the United States, and as I understand it, more so than any other country in the entire world. Texas will be the centerpiece for AI data centers for Google in the entire world. They also, we met briefly before this, and they also demystified what this is all about. some people are confused about what AI really does and this term, the hyperscalers and all that. And they gave me a more practical example of who actually is going to be using the data that's going to be available in Midlothian. Your local McDonald's is going to be using it to better enable their business to function. Your local stores, your local grocery stores, your local HEB and things like that are all going to be operating better because of AI generated right here in Midlothian, Texas. So we are proud of what you're doing, proud of your footprint here in the state of Texas, and just know that Texas is a partner with our businesses, large and small, and that we will insist on continuing to move at the speed of business so that you will finish this project ahead of schedule and under budget.
Hey, $40 billion, right? I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, these companies are flush with money, if you know what I mean, Jess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, $40 billion, right?
Yeah.
And Social Security system is a real hurt going forward. So I think they may be able to chip in and help out a little bit along the way. Anyway, I wanted to talk about some of the comments made here. Move at the speed of business. I look at it, that's a dog whistle for billionaire corporations. It means don't worry about regulations. The corporation can do anything you want. The Texas Governor, Greg Abbott, is saying he does not care what the impact of AI data centers on the people living in the state of Texas are. Texas is in a severe drought, basically caused by global warming. AI data centers need massive amount of water to operate. The state of Texas has experienced severe drought conditions for the past 20 years, if not longer. The government of Texas must recognize that AI data centers will impact water availability for all the people that live in the state of Texas. Imagine that.
There you go.
I think so, Jess. What do you?
Yeah.
You want to argue with that, Jess, or what? You better not.
No. Well, the fact is the 2026 Texas gubernatorial election is scheduled to take place November 3rd, 2026. The governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is currently running to be reelected for a fourth term. So let's see what Governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, thinks about data centers today.
As governor, I have outlined the greatest detail and most comprehensive plan of any governor in the United States of America to respond to the data center challenge. Let me tell you what I've done. I have pressed pause on any new data center being able to join the operations in the state of Texas.
And other governors have done the same. Yeah.
And well, here's the deal. During that pause, I have set guidelines and guardrails that all data centers have to comply with. Number one, they must identify what water usage they're demanding and make clear they are not taking water from communities that need it. Number two, they must not take power from the Texas power grid that's needed. Number three, they must actually lower the cost of electricity for consumers. Number four, they need to make sure that they are not disturbing neighborhoods or rural communities. These are standards that are now being universally applied by all the data centers in the state of Texas.
Hey, that's pretty good, isn't it? Where was he like 2 months ago when he was doing his $40 billion announcement, right? None of this was important, right? No. The re-election's coming up and the numbers aren't looking so great. And whoops, whatever. So anyway, Governor Abbott has made a sudden, swift shift away from his anything-goes attitude with permitting process of the AI data centers, rushing them through.
Yeah.
Now his re-election bid is less than 90 days away, and actually it's probably less than 70, actually. He knows everybody hates these AI data centers. I think that the Governor Abbott sees the political polls regarding AI data centers, and political polls are what have changed his viewpoint and how great AI data centers really are, because they're really not that great for people that live near them. You know what I mean, Jeff?
That's right. Yeah. He's seen the polls, and now he's going to start talking out of the other side of his mouth.
And he's running.
Yeah. So, Bill, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do these large AI data centers in Texas receive a volume discount on the amount of electricity they consume?
Absolutely. They don't go in, large corporations don't go anywhere without a discount.
That's true. Yeah. So what is the electrical pricing structure breakdown in Texas for AI data centers versus residential customers?
It's kind of interesting that you asked that, Jess. Large-scale energy consumers leverage their size to secure rates that are sometimes 50% lower than what the standard residential household will pay for their electricity.
Half the price.
Half the price. Not bad, right?
Yeah.
We need to reserve a discount policy. We reverse the discount policy. The more electricity their customers use, the higher kilowatt rate hour should be increased. This will ensure that the residential customers are not subsidizing billionaires' use of large amounts of electricity.
That's right. So what is the reason electrical rates keep rising?
Well, it's basic economics, I think. Supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
If they got a big demand, then they got to invest a lot of money to get more electricity, and basically that drives the price up. So it's basically demand. And that's true. That's really true in Texas because they run their own grid. They're not part of the national grid.
Yeah.
And they are really like deep trouble when they have high demand for electricity.
That's true.
People get buried. The rates triple, double, quadruple on residential people. So it's unbelievable what they're paying for electricity in Texas.
That's tough. So let's check in on the common planned investment in multiple data centers. Here we go.
We've aggressively reformed our permitting process, and we've sped up government. We've slashed wait times, reducing backlogs, and finally fixed our permit processes. We went from the bottom of the pack in the nation to the top when it comes to the speed of getting a permit done. And you know what? It's working now. We are moving at the speed of business. An initial investment of at least $20 billion in multiple state-of-the-art data centers across our Commonwealth that will power our global economy and the future of artificial intelligence. And hear me on this, it is just the beginning, because our administration is actively engaged with Amazon on additional sites in our Commonwealth, helping them to secure local support, developing the infrastructure needed to support more data centers, and ensuring our permitting process works quickly. In fact, a big reason we were able to get this done is because of Pennsylvania's new fast-track permitting system, allowing those to understand how quick they can get a permit, and it's all done in a transparent and open process, giving confidence to companies like Amazon that their project will get built on time.
You can't move at the speed of business. That's two governors that are using that terminology. I wonder where they dug that up from, Chester. Right? And it's the same thing. Don't worry about regulations, right? They have revamped everything, so they're not looking at anything. Do whatever you want. That was what they're saying to these guys that are putting in these data centers, right?
Right.
And the real team, there was like $40 billion and $20 billion at $60 billion. And we don't have money for Social Security, right? It's really unbelievable, this money that's in this country, but there's nothing for the people, the blue collar folks, right? People are going to need it when they get older. Yeah. Guys like you, Josh.
Yeah, working people.
Yeah, the working people, that's right. So the fast-track streamlined permitting process means the state is not going to get away with the billionaire corporations are doing. They can do anything they want, at least at that point in time, right, Josh?
That's right. Well, flash forward now, 2026.
What's going on, Josh, in 2026?
Well, we got an election coming.
Another election. Son of a gun.
Yeah. Election November 3rd. And guess what? Governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, is running for re-election. And let's see what he has to say about AI data centers now.
I've read your comments. I've seen your texts. I've listened to your phone calls. And I've talked with so many of you in person all across Pennsylvania. You don't want these irresponsible, burdensome, reckless AI data centers in your community. And I want you to know, I hear you.
The governor says he heard from the voters. I suspect the governor did not really hear from those voters. The governor has been looking at the polls. And the polls will tell him very clearly he has a better chance to change he has a good chance to change his position and win an election if he basically comes out hard against the AI data centers, which basically two governors have basically changed their viewpoints within 60 days, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden is, you're not going to get away with murder anymore. We're really going to tighten up on you guys.
Right, at least publicly they're saying that. At least publicly,
yeah.
Now,
at least publicly. You said it, Jesse. You're still in my thunder here, but go ahead.
Right, yeah, so I'm wondering how much PAC money, how much this political action committee money do these governors receive?
You think they actually getting money? Come on, you kidding me? Well, I looked something up for Greg Abbott. $1.6 million from high-tech data centers, AI-aligned executives for his campaign fund. I think that was some political. That was pretty nice, right? Yeah. 1.6 million.
Yeah. I'll use another 1.5 million.
I give you special attention if you need it, you know?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
In Pennsylvania, Shapiro is estimated to have received $5.5 million from high-tech billionaire dollar corporations, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, here we are, right? Do you think there's a conflict of interest on this stuff, Jesse? $1 billion floating around here, you know?
A lot of money in politics, yeah.
Any conflict of interest? I'm trying to pin you down now. You sound like a politician. Okay, all right.
Yeah, definitely conflict of interest.
In the end, the two governors are going for re-election. They can always change their mind after they get elected, you know? That's why we can't elect these guys, right? AI data centers, basically, they're on board with them in a big way, even no matter what they're talking about now. Yeah. In the old days, we would call these guys flip-floppers, Jesse. You know what I mean?
Right.
They think, hey, well, which way's the wind blowing, right?
Yeah.
These two governors have been influenced by PAC money. This is a good reason not to vote for them. It's a good reason to vote them out of office. Remember, we have a government today by the billionaires, for the billionaires. And don't forget that, because that's the way it is. In the upcoming election, we have the opportunity to change it back to government by the people, for the people. Your vote is your power, and you should use it. Okay, these two governors, the flip-floppers, as I just said.
Yeah.
The election's in November, as we all know, November 3rd, I think. As you know, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican, Jess, right? I'm just an old-fashioned American.
That's right.
I'm looking for the best that I can say for all Americans, right?
That's right.
I say vote both these guys out.
Yeah.
Very simply, right?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Suddenly they're against everything they said they were for. The November elections, they're getting close. It's a good reason these flip-floppers, you know, say one thing, do another. It's a good reason to vote them out. Can't trust them, Bill.
Okay.
Can't trust them.
Like as we said, these governors receive a lot of money from PACs. And basically, you know, then they may change their mind in front of us right now, but it'd be easily to change it back, I think, you know, right after the election. So they do the old flip-flop after the election, I guess, you know, go back to the original position with the AI dentists. You guys do anything you want. We're not going to look at it too close. Because you can have rules and regulations and guidelines, and you don't have to look at them and let these guys do whatever they want. And that's pretty much how politics works, isn't it, Jess?
That's right, yeah.
Absolutely.
Selective enforcement.
Yep. AI dentists, are they really that bad, Jess? I'm trying to figure out. What do you think?
Well, let's take a look at this from Robert Reich and Inequality Media.
Folks, did you see this story about data centers? A recent study by The Guardian found that a majority of planned data centers in the United States will be constructed in drought-stricken areas. This is a big problem. Data centers require huge amounts of water to keep servers from overheating, with some of the largest ones requiring up to 5 million gallons of water per day. That's the equivalent of the water used by 50,000 people per day. Or think of it this way. If you ask AI to write you a simple 100-word email, it requires about a bottle of water to process. Hello? Water usage aside, data centers contribute to higher electricity bills. Many rely on diesel generators as a source of backup power that emit harmful pollution into the air. States are also spending billions of dollars subsidizing data centers for little in return. And they are noisy as hell. No wonder data centers are hugely unpopular. 7 in 10 Americans oppose data center construction in their community.
There is no win-win situation.
The backlash against AI data centers is growing, with protests from coast to coast.
But now, given the nationwide groundswell against data centers,
we're not going anywhere.
When big tech can't buy elections or pay off politicians, it resorts to bullying. A small Michigan township successfully organized to reject a proposed data center, but big tech sued and forced the development through anyway. Despite big tech's power, the public is rising up against data centers. And the pushback is democracy in action that has the power to unite us all. As one popular Wisconsin comedian put it,
"This is the most bipartisan issue since beer." And that should tell you something.
It's not red versus blue. A rural Wisconsin town just passed the first referendum in the nation, imposing strict guidelines on data center development. Seattle's city council passed an outright ban. The fight to stop data centers isn't just about water usage or pollution or higher electric bills. And it's not just about the technology itself. It's about big tech and AI CEOs trying to impose their will on us. They want to be the ones who decide the future and expand their wealth. But the American people demand a say. This is what democracy is all about. Until there are reasonable regulations on AI that protect us, no more data centers should be built. Not even in space, Elon. We need a national moratorium.
Well, just I don't know about you, but I can't agree with that guy more.
Yeah.
And when he was in Yale, he was a politician, you know. And when he was in office, I didn't really care for him that much. But, you know, I think he's nailing this one right here, Justin. How do you feel about that?
I mean, you got the deafening noise, the extreme water use, the massive electricity consumption. It's crazy. 70% of Americans don't want them built in their communities.
That's for sure, man. You get a hum of sleep every night, you know.
All right. Yeah.
You know, people complain about the train going by blowing a whistle.
Yeah, it's like a jet engine noise. Right.
Down here in Vero, but I'm telling you, whatever, right? Yeah. Hey, look, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me for these guys. Just to recap some of the things you say, to build an AI data center in a drought-stricken place like Texas, you know?
Right. Yeah. No, it doesn't make sense. No. They say the water usage by Google is at 40% of what the entire El Paso city consumes day to day. Just wait till the time comes to expand its AI data center footprint, and they're going to need even more water.
I know. I don't think anybody factors that in, you know. They put it up and say, oh, we need more power here. Well, we got this land. Let's just expand, right? That's typically what happens, right? It's snake creep on that expansion. 13 months of legal action to get a recorded amount of water used by AI data centers. Do you think they want us to know how much water they're using?
Just to get those numbers? Yeah, no, they don't. No, they don't. No, I don't think so, Bill. Yeah. The El Paso water rate went up 12 years in a row, but Meta, they don't worry. There's plenty of water, they say, for all the AI data centers.
Yeah, they keep telling Meta, come on now, we'll put it up. But, you know, we can't afford water for our residents, but you can have it, Meta. You're a billionaire corporation, right?
Right.
On an annual basis, the water needed to generate the electricity and cool the AI data center for Meta is estimated at 75 million gallons annually. That's a lot of water, Josh.
Sounds like a lot of water.
I'm glad I don't have to pay for that.
That's right. That's a big water bill.
That's for sure.
Apple, Google, Microsoft, along with several other companies, are withholding the volume of water needed to support their data centers. Keep it a secret. So we can only guess what the water usage is.
Yeah.
We can use Meta information as a yardstick on how much water is needed. The billionaires companies are lobbying to keep secret on the amount of water used. If we don't know what the water usage is, then the public thinks it's not a problem, apparently.
Yeah, that's Donald Trump's philosophy, right? don't tell anybody anything, and it won't be a problem.
Right.
The infrastructure costs here, we'll have maybe something a little later in the program here, but the infrastructure are incredible. I mean, what they have to do to put these guys in, and who pays for the infrastructure costs? The citizens, the taxpayers, they pay for it. The big billionaire companies, they skate by and they don't pay anything. You know, they win again on that cost. Anyway, kind of wrap this up a little bit, Jess. AA data centers are on the ballot in November. That and a lot more. Remember, your country today is by the billionaires, for the billionaires. Your vote is your power, so use it to change your country for the better. Finally, I want to say Social Security will have major cuts in 2032, and you've been listening, you know that's a fact. The cuts will be estimated to be around 23%. This cut creates a need for alternative funding and sources for Social Security because W-2 deductions will not work going forward into the future. The theme of this podcast, right, is to find additional sources for funding Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. The billionaires in the AI data center, as we just saw, we're talking $60 billion to do stuff here, right? Yeah. To enhance their wealth in the long term, must contribute a fee to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, which we call the Social Security lockbox fee, right?
That's right.
It's a pretty simple tax deduction. You know, they get a tax deduction for their fee, and I'm only asking them for every liter of water, give us a nickel. I mean, that's $40 billion. So you use a liter of water, throw a nickel into the pot for Medicare and Social Security. You know, help us out, folks. You know,
I like it.
You like that idea? I mean, a nickel's a lot of money, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and
right.
those nickels will add up after a while, Jess. You
They do add up.
Right? We got 30 billion nickels, I'm telling you. I don't know what that is, but that's a big number, right? So we all know that this AI stuff is going to cause hardworking Americans to lose their employment. And once they lose their employment, they'll have to tap into their savings. Once they tap into their savings, when they get old like me, they won't have any money to pay for their retirement. And they're going to be able to rely on Social Security, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to need that. And when they say we're cutting it by 23%, there's going to be nothing there for these people in the end. They'll cut it again by the time younger people get there, if you know what I mean, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, that's all I have to say. So the bottom line is wake up America, right? And that's just for this segment here. Wake up America, Jess, right?
That's right.
Get out and vote.
Get out and vote.
You know, your vote is important this year. There's a lot of times it hasn't been important, but these guys here don't want you to vote. This guy here and Jess, we want him to vote, right, Jess?
That's right.
Okay, get out and vote.
Get out and vote. Exercise your right.
Exercise your power.
That's right.
You have power this election.
That's right.
Hey, we had a tragedy happen just this week, didn't we, Jess?
Yeah. You're talking about Gaza, I think, right, Bill?
I was talking about Dolly.
Dolly. That's a tragedy, too. Yes, we lost Dolly this. Yeah. So, all right. So we'll play this from ABC News. How's that, Bill?
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, not that one. This one.
Including her passion project, the Imagination Library, inspired by her father, Robert Lee Parton, who wasn't taught to read or write. The Imagination Library has grown into a global powerhouse, gifting over 300 million books to children worldwide.
I'm so happy that we have got that many books in the hands of that many children and that they can learn to read in their most impressionable years.
Her historic efforts earned her the prestigious Carnegie Medal of Philanthropy. In 2016, when wildfires devastated parts of Tennessee, she and her Dollywood Foundation stepped in to help, giving $1,000 checks to nearly 900 victims for 6 weeks.
Thank you so much. You are so welcome.
Her generosity also stretched into healthcare, with Dolly donating $1 million to Vanderbilt University's COVID-19 research that helped develop the Moderna vaccine.
Here I go. All right.
Sharing this video to encourage others to get their vaccine.
Dolly, this was all new to me, okay? I really never understood Dolly Parton. And when I look at that, she was unbelievable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. Yeah. Dolly Parton was God's messenger for kindness in this country. She was absolutely unbelievable. And she'll be missed by the underprivileged people in this world. I mean, 3 million books. Can you imagine that? She gave out 3 million books.
Incredible.
Who would do that, right?
All right.
She gave out, what, $900 to these people for 6 weeks on, had fire? I don't know. We've had floods and fires in this country. Has anybody found FEMA? They seem like they went missing. Aren't they supposed to jump in here and do stuff for these people? Jess, really?
Where is FEMA? Yeah.
Where is FEMA? Have you heard anything about FEMA?
No.
It's absolutely terrible, you know. So anyway, she had a lot of very humanitarian. I mean, just simply unbelievable lady, you know. So she will be missed, and I'll miss her now that I figured out all the nice things she was doing for people. Right. Yeah. So. Yeah. Hey, what about our president? What's going on with that guy lately?
Oh well, he's in the news. He's calling for the change of an aircraft carrier, right? So we've got
the aircraft carrier. That's good. Go there.
All right.
Also this morning, President Trump took aim at climate change, calling the concept of a carbon footprint a hoax.
It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. I've been right about everything. And I'm telling you that if you don't get away from the green energy scam, your country is going to fail.
Hey, listen, that's where we wanted to go anyway.
Okay.
And Donald J. Trump is financially backed, remember, by big oil, coal, and natural gas. He's also financially backed by tech billionaires. I have always thought that the President of the United States is supposed to represent the best interests of all American people. And I actually feel betrayed by Donald J. Trump, okay? Because I don't think he's representing the interests of people. I think he's representing the interests of billionaire corporations and billionaire investors. You know, that's how I look at it. You know, you want to go to that Nepal thing now? No, the carrier. Go to the carrier.
All right, the carrier. Yeah,
that's good.
All right, this is
I'll
from
see if I
ABC News.
catch up with you, you know?
All right.
Doris Miller is one of World War II's heroes, going above and beyond the call of duty during the 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor.
The Japanese have attacked the Pearl Harbor from the air.
Miller, who was a cook, ran to an unmanned machine gun above deck and began firing at Japanese warplanes, shooting down at least one with no formal training. And as his ship began to sink, he helped fellow sailors to safety. In 1942, after pressure from the NAACP, Miller became the first black man to be awarded the Navy Cross, the second highest decoration for combat heroism behind the Medal of Honor. 1 year later, he was killed in action. In 2020, on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, the Navy announced the Ford-class aircraft carrier would be named in Doris's honor. President Trump at the time acknowledging the decision.
The next American aircraft carrier will bear the proud name of USS Doris Miller. That's pretty good. They won't give me that honor. That's a big boat. That's a big ship.
Yeah, I know. And this gentleman that died, he's an African American. You know, Jesse, I always thought you hear Donald Trump is racist, but damn, he can't be racist if he's going to give this guy an aircraft carrier name to carry around for the next 50 years. So, you know, that's changed my mind about him.
Has it?
Yeah, really. I mean, really, he's a black guy, right? An African American. You know, in those days in the Navy, if you were African American back in WW2, you were not well received. And basically, if there were really lousy jobs, you got the lousy jobs, and you get discriminated against. That's the way it was back then. It's gotten a little bit better today, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm glad to see the president. See, it got better. The president's stepping up, and he's saying, hey, we're going to name this carrier after this guy, right?
Well, hold your horses right there, Bill. He's got something new to say.
What are you talking about?
The family of the first African-American ever honored with having a U.S. aircraft carrier named after him is speaking out amid reports the Pentagon may take away that honor and name the ship after President Trump instead.
What? You got to be kidding me. Trump would never go back on his word. He's a man of his word. Right. If he said that, I know he'll go forward with it. This guy, Hegseth in the Pentagon, he's got to be a nutcase. Absolutely. You know, Donald Trump, I'm sure will refuse that if they come to him and say, we're going to do this. He'd say, absolutely not. You know, this guy was a hero. He died a year after this Pearl Harbor bombing. He died in action, defending the country. We definitely need to name it after him. I'm sure he'll step up and do that.
Well, we'll see.
What do you think, Josh?
We'll see. I'm not betting my money on that.
Okay. Hey, I had said at the end of last week I'd like to make a few comments on Israel on a weekly basis just to see how the peace plan's going and stuff like that. So you got anything on that, Jess?
We do. Here, this is from BBC.
These are the scenes from multiple deadly Israeli strikes in Gaza less than 24 hours apart. Verified videos showing the aftermath of Wednesday's strike in Gaza City show at least 5 injured people, including 2 children and a woman being carried away. Initial reports say at least 7 people were killed. The IDF said it was targeting a Hamas commander. In a separate incident on Tuesday, there was a strike on a cafe by the seaside. Verified footage shows people running to the scene of the attack. The cafe, the Sweet and the Bitter, was here at the port in western Gaza City, in an area that's become densely packed with tents used by Palestinians displaced since the start of the war. In the aftermath, we can see plastic chairs scattered with debris and shoes left behind. Some videos we verified are too graphic to show you because we see lifeless bodies and blood-soaked floors. Local officials say at least 6 people were killed, including a child. The Israeli military said it struck a meeting of commanders, including one it said had taken part in the Hamas attacks on October the 7th. We asked the IDF about the casualties involving women and children, and it said precise munitions were used and measures were taken to mitigate harm to civilians. These deadly strikes come after a ceasefire agreement which has seen repeated Israeli attacks.
Yeah, I'm glad they're taking care of not trying to injure additional people, because this Hamas thing was supposed to be 10,000 people, and they've killed over 73,000 folks in Palestine that we know of. There's a whole bunch of people in the buildings that we don't know of, but if we saw the other day. Hey, we have another. I think we're gonna wrap that up. Okay, Jess.
Okay.
All right. Hey, listen. So that's it. Remember, get out and vote. All right. This is your country. God bless America. This is Bill Crafton and Jesse, the gunslinger from Vero Beach.
Wake up, America. All right. We'll see you next time.
All right, pal.